Hey crypto kids, welcome to another video. Today I am insanely jet lagged and quite sick, but I promised you that last night I would make a video regarding if I'm going to be closing Bitcoin positions and whether I think Bitcoin is actually approaching a top or not. So I want to go through that, give you a recap of why Bitcoin obviously saw the drop down from the 115, 116 range to 109 now, and what I think will be happening next to Bitcoin, what I think will be happening next to Ethereum. With that said, if you do enjoy these videos and if you want to wish me well, then make sure to destroy the like button and perhaps wish me well in the comments. That would be very appreciated for the YouTube algorithm. I know that all of you guys want me to be better anyways. That's completely known as a fact. But if you do write in the comment section, then you will be pushing the YouTube algorithm to distribute this video to as many people as possible so that we can have as many crypto kids as possible learning about crypto and understanding the crypto markets as the cycle passes. Let's start off with Bitcoin. Talk about Bitcoin, where I think the price of Bitcoin is going, what I'm doing over on weeks with my long positions. If you want to trade on weeks, by the way, the first link in the description down below will give you free VIP level 2 status, which I'm not even a VIP at the moment. You'll get free VIP level 2 status in 24 hours time, and it will give you 25% off trading fees. So that's a pretty cool thing. And if you want to take advantage of it, you can use the first link in the description down below. What do I think will happen to Bitcoin? Well, short term, we can start with the short term charts. This double top is not nice at all. We have to state that. And we also have to mention that Bitcoin is now below the crucial 11.9 price level, which we've been discussing on this channel and on the Moonshow channel multiple times. It was a great level of support. Now, well, it was a resistance line, then turned support, and now, unfortunately, we will likely turn it into resistance once more. And falling below the double top, you're actually confirming the double top pattern, and this does have a target down at the 100K price level. The only thing that is saving Bitcoin from rejecting to or correcting to 100K is the CME gap that we have open on the 4-hourly time frame at 11,000. $16,800. This is one of the largest CME gaps that Bitcoin has created in a while, and these fill 90% of the time. In fact, it should be around 95% of the time. It's a pretty large one, and I think Bitcoin will close it sooner rather than later. So the only thing that's keeping me from saying, okay, 100K Bitcoin right now is pretty much the Bitcoin CME gap. And actually, from a position standpoint, I'm not closing any positions. The only time that I would be considering to close long positions would be if Bitcoin falls below 100K. And that is on the table, guys and girls. If Bitcoin falls below 100K, to me, it is pretty much game over for Bitcoin in this cycle. To me, Bitcoin would have topped. I don't think that's the base case. I think Bitcoin will still go ahead and top in September, follow global liquidity. We should have the global liquidity chart somewhere here. Let me have a look. So there is the global liquidity chart. That's still projecting about 135 to 140,000 Bitcoin. We obviously created a high, and now we're drifting to the downside. So the final week of September, from a cycle perspective and from a liquidity perspective, still is my base case scenario. People are saying that, oh no, Bitcoin is drifting away from M2 money supply. All you have to do is just change the scale of the chart. So I think Bitcoin will still follow M2 money supply and likely top in the final week of September. However, I think there's also a small probability that the top has already happened. And I just want to keep that in your mind. We need to, count the facts, which people don't do. Bitcoin, yes, tops 535-ish days post-halving, but for the first time ever, Bitcoin created a new all-time high pre the halving by 35 days. So when you deduct that, then actually you come to the final week of August. So just please keep that in mind. My bias is still bullish. I don't think Bitcoin has topped, but we do need to keep that bear case scenario in mind. I still expect the CME gap to be closing to the upside. In terms of if we do the bullish case scenario, how much do we end up dropping? I think the bull bear market support band is a good place of support for the bullish scenario. That is at 107. We're about $1,500 off from that anyways, but a test to the bull bear market support band wouldn't be too shabby. If we look at all the top indicators that Bitcoin, famously puts in before seeing the top, like the Pi cycle top, that's still very far away. If you go to the CoinMarketCap cycle indicators, topping status indicators, 0% of them have been triggered at this moment. You need to understand, though, that I don't think any of these indicators, apart from maybe the RSI, maybe the MRV score, they don't really account for diminishing returns, and that's my issue. The rainbow chart's extreme danger zone is between $769,000 to $1 million, which is very unrealistic for this cycle. So even though that the crypto top cycle indicators are currently 0%, I do think that there are some pretty serious warning signs for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin alone. Apart from Bitcoin, I think altcoins will still rip. Ethereum will lead that season. We already covered the multi-cycle resistance Bitcoin correlation chart, so no need to go into it. I still project an $8,000 Ethereum as Bitcoin starts consolidating at all-time highs. Most likely next month, I think Ethereum will start ripping into Q4. You can see that Bitmine has added another 4,871 Ethereums to their holdings, currently holding 1.7 million ETH worth $7.65 billion. Sharplink Gaming acquired 56,000 Ethereum at an average cost of $4,462, with their portfolio now worth at calculated at 3.7 billion. And literally, like 3 months ago, this treasury narrative didn't exist, and 3 months ago, you didn't have the ETFs buying $400 million on a daily basis. Apart from that, if you look at the technicals for Ethereum, Ethereum still looks pretty good. I would say Ethereum does look pretty good. You have the bullish pennant, you're breaking to the upside, multi-cycle resistance, Bitcoin correlation. We could drop to $4,000 to 3.9. I wouldn't be concerned if that happens. I would just be adding more. But overall, Ethereum looks super bullish from a TA, from a supply-demand ratio, and also an on-chain perspective where tokenization is going to increase in rapidity. You're going to see stable coins gain in market dominance, and that will all mostly be reflected on Ethereum's underlying, the layer one of Ethereum. And that's going to be beneficial for the price of Ethereum. And I think we can go to $8,000. I apologize, guys. I'm really sorry, but I just thought it would be very important to make this video. Anyway, so Ethereum, I'm very bullish on. I'm very bullish on altcoins like Solana. My target is $500 for the cycle. Very similar Solana, tokenization, stable coins, commercial blockchain. Solana is very bullish. BNB is very bullish. AVAX is very bullish. Ondo is going to start their tokenization going into the tokenization of stocks in the first week of September. So all these altcoins I'm personally buying. An altcoin that I'm avoiding is actually the Crypto.com altcoin. That's up 27.9% today because the Trump Media Group announced that they're going to be doing a $6.5 billion Crow treasury. That's double the Bitcoin treasury they wanted to do because they raised funds for a Bitcoin treasury. And the price of Crow is now up 27.9%. They mentioned that they were going to integrate the Crow coin into the Truth Social platform. Not sure how that's going to work, but ZachXBT highlighted that the original Crow supply was 100 billion. In 2021, they burned 70 billion of the Crow supply. Earlier this year, they reissued the 70 billion that was burned forever via governance proposal where validators connected to Crypto.com controlled 70 to 80% of the voting power. So just FYI, it's something that I'm not personally investing in, but is up 27.9% in the past 24 hours. So I wanted to cover it for you here on today's video. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Really, I would have gone more in depth, but I don't have so much energy. If you can destroy the likes, it would be very appreciated. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next video, hopefully very soon. Bye-bye, guys.